Budgets in Flight by Kelly Filgo, presented November 2017. My subject is Angel Newhart. She's a statewide department chair of aerospace programs at Texas State Technical College, and she's also my direct supervisor. I chose her because she's a leader of 7 instructional teams with more than 65 faculty and staff. She's also the steward of an annual budget in excess of $4.5 million. So I feel like that qualifies her pretty well for this project. Now we are going to have to move pretty fast through these slides, so if you need to at any time, just pause and you can read her responses. I'll be paraphrasing the bullet points that you see. First question, what recent decisions have you made that had an impact on finances? Well, she said that budgeting is not done alone, first of all. She said that mostly what she has to do is decide between the short-term and long-term impact of her decisions. There's an example there having to do with when to pay off airplanes and when to buy new airplanes for the flight program. One might make you financially sound sooner, but the latter allows student counts to increase, which also makes administrators happy. So how did she assess the impact of those decisions? Well, she assessed the financials and created a hybrid of the two approaches, combining the best ideas from both. And it looks like that's going to work out so that the aircraft they decided to lease, they will be able to afford to purchase it outright next year. Number 2, describe the toughest budget issue you've ever faced. Our schools are responding to state budget crunch by closely examining each program. And if they can improve it, they will. But if not, it's going to get taught out and shut down. It's going to be a tough call, and she's going to do everything she can to prevent that. So hopefully that's the way we can continue. So describe how you decrease expenses and or increase revenue. She says to listen to your people, especially the staff. They're the ones who really are in the nitty-gritty of what gets spent every day. Save the little things and then go for corporate donations like the 2 jets and a large turbofan engine we received this year at a value of close to $1.5 million. Explain the political pressures you face in terms of financial management and budget issues. She says that's a tough one to answer. Mostly it's the pressure to do more with less. It's hard when budget keepers are not subject matter experts. It's hard to explain how long-term payoffs on spending can help in the long run, but they look like they might be a bit of a risk right now. What advice would you give new or mid-level professionals about learning how to make budgetary decisions and being successful at it? She says to watch and learn. Stick with it for a few months the way it's been run, and then start to make any necessary changes, and only necessary changes. Basically, avoid the idea of having to get your fingerprints on the team. Resist that impulse as a leader and a new person on a team. Number 6, what kind of budget experience did you have before your current role? And how did it prepare you for the budget you were in stewardship of now? These are the questions that I wrote. So here's her response to this one. Before she took over the entire division, she ran the pilot training program, which was the bulk of the budget of the entire division. But before that, she had no real budget experience at all. It was brand new to her, and it was a bit of a crash course in sort of throwing herself in the deep end of the pool to make it work. Number 7, how do you decide what to fight for and what to let go of during the budget approval process? This one, I really liked her answer to this one. She wants us to make the decisions to think big and not cut our ideas before we even submit them. That she says that it's not even her job to cut those ideas. It's her job to fight for them. It's what she wants to do for us, and it's really a positive statement. As long as they either help with enrollment or student count or sustainment, which is keeping the labs running and keeping things up to date, or morale, how much we're getting paid or what our course loads are. If we can defend how the line item will fit into one of those things, then she will go for it and fight for us. And even if it does get cut, then she knows that we are actually she's actually fighting for us, which is really good to know. Number 8, explain how you keep so much information organized while working with 7 different units. She says that she uses a lot of software and even a lot of written material. She has big whiteboards with magnets with each program name on them and how much they're spending, and all kinds of visual references for that. So both electronic and analog. She also carries with her at all times her sort of nuclear football, right? It's got everything on it that she needs, so that if she wakes up in the middle of the night with a burning question, she can get those answers right away. She insists on being able to run her own reports, which I think is great, because that way she's in control. She doesn't have to wait on someone else to get the information for her. Number 9, how do you use your statewide department budget to make decisions during the budget year? We're actually very fortunate that we have a flexible budget. Once approved, it can be changed if you've got some very good reasons to change it. So if something happens in the middle of the year, we have maintenance issue on a flight school aircraft, she can move some money around and get it dealt with. That's a really nice feature of our school. All right, number 10. We're running short on time here. What is your approach in terms of the human capital you're managing during the budget process? Well, the team is the most important thing to her. It's very obvious. All levels should have some input into the budget requests. And when all are involved, we can all see the logic behind any approved budget adjustments to requests. Here's the 3 big ideas. Budgets are not the sole work of the budget steward. A well-designed budget is the work of all the team stakeholders. Budgets are as much about passion and energy as they are about getting enough widgets to last the year. People want to spend money on what will improve their program. The higher level administrators are not experts in your field. You'll have to do a lot of vision casting and explaining to get what you need for your programs. You may feel like you have explained your needs clearly, but the higher up a budget approver is, the less likely they are to risk, since they're not an expert in your field. You've got your work cut out for you. Here's the appendix of questions. You can pause here if you need to read all of them. And that is my presentation. So thank you very much.